I am known as King Smarty. My parents named me John Felix Mendez Herbert. I'm also known as the Supreme Commander, Sananda Galactic. I'm the oldest being that was created. And I'm here to stay and show all you guys what you all been missing. King Sananda Galactic is one of the ancient ones, one of the builder races, one of the first beings ever created. That's me in a different higher up dimension. I discovered that by listening to certain things, and I was born with the sense of knowing since I was a kid. It just took some time to get to it. It's just not, it doesn't happen overnight, but I knew something was different about me. I was born in Ponce, Puerto Rico. My family grew up in Guanica, which is where I just recently visited and touched the waters and opened up a portal that was there. Was that too much? So anyway, I was born in Ponce, Puerto Rico. My dad was Puerto Rican and Taino Indian from Puerto Rico. And my mom was German and half Puerto Rican from the Bronx. They met in Puerto Rico, and that's where I was conceived. You know, they were loving parents. They provided everything for us. They taught me values. You know, that's why I'm so generous, but also don't take no crap. That's my mom. My dad was super generous, but he also didn't take no crap. Regular family. I had a fun and interesting life. My father had multiple businesses, and I was always with him, so I learned how to be a good salesperson, how to treat people. And then my mom, she was very smart, and she would draw, which is why some of my products I draw. My family was into the streets, like a lot of families who struggle to make it because of the way the system is run. I was around family members that was always into drugs and dealing, and a lot of it was, you know, business, if you would. However, I've seen the drugs tear people apart. That's also why I'm compassionate for those type of people. That was also designed. Fast forward now, I know that those type of things were designed to get people to be that way, so that they're constantly worried about the drug instead of searching for our creator. So it was complicated. However, we are here now. Back in Lancaster, where I'm from, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, I was in classes called IU13, which is special education classes. I couldn't read or write well. The bigger picture is that I was considered a genius. My IQ is over 250, documented, by the way. So I'm not making it up. Because of my IQ, my intelligence level, and my knowing, it brought me to where I'm at. That's how I knew. Plus, I'm also very observant, and I listen. I listen to everything and everyone. So that's how all of this started, and that's how I know certain things. Because it's just that inner knowing that all of us were born with. However, if the wrong settings can get you off your track. I just happen to stay on my source directives, which will lead into that. Source directives is an intelligent word for God's plan. See, the funny thing about God is that he's not known God. He's not known as God in the universe. We call it source because he's the source of everything, right? I call it source directives because it's source's plan. Earth is limited source to God. And that's not a bad thing, by the way. We just have an intelligent understanding of what this all is. So that's another thing that we'll be leading into. And you have to have kind of like an inner knowing to even understand what I just said, because some people, when I say stuff like that, it's like, religious stuff comes at me and all this other stuff. So I stay away from it and I just tell people what it is. And all of a sudden, source, which I call Dad, has a funny way of validating things. And that's why we're here. A very long time ago, there was pleading from the many species here on Earth to our Creator, and the beings here pretty much raped and pillaged this planet. So that's why all of us, not just myself, all of us came in with the understanding and knowing that we are not from here. However, we are here to change it. That's why I'm here, and that's why my crew is here. I had to come because I'm the most powerful of us, which is why, I'm here. That being said, when everybody else sees these videos and they feel the love and they feel the authenticity, they feel the honesty, they're going to get activated and they're going to be like, holy shit, this is for real. Excuse my French. This is going to only expand and go viral, and everybody else is going to fully get activated, and we're going to change this planet overnight. There's multiple reasons, but the real reason is because of the Draco reptilians came here and, like I said, raped and pillaged the planet, turned us into a food chain where we are now consuming ourselves. And this is the stuff that people don't talk about. And when you do talk about, you get censored. Okay, so there's multiple reasons why I'm here. My abilities and my healing equipment, my free holograms speak for themselves. That's why I'm here. I'm here to do multiple things. That's why it's not easy. By all means, it's not easy. And I get laughed at by Source, God, Creator, Dad, because I complain on how hard it is when he says to me, right after that, he says to me, well, you volunteered for it. So the stories of people volunteering to come down here to help clean up this place is very true. It's a consciousness. It's a energy transfer. It's a reincarnation. It's all the above. That's why we're here, all of us. Even the ones that are here, a part of the darkness, you guys are here just so we can have fun eliminating y'all. First of all, Earth is a planet. It is round. It is not flat. It's also a planet that was created to learn and to experience and to have, paradise. And it's not where it's supposed to be. That's the real answer to that. It's not where it's supposed to be. However, we're moving into where it's supposed to be, which is a paradise, which is a place for learning for all races, all beings, I should say, because there's so many different beings here that you can't even see, right? So Earth is a paradise, and it's also a training ground. It's a beautiful planet, and there's multiple districts on this planet. And all of the different districts have different entities, beings, all here to learn, come together, and bring the bigger picture together. It's a melting pot for learning, experiencing, and allowing all of us to evolve. So that's what Earth is. It's like a playground where everybody's supposed to get along, and they haven't been. So we're moving into that though. We are up against what used to be powerful entities known as Dracos, reptilians, vampires, who have abilities kind of like the movie shows you guys, where you have vampires teleporting, you have vampires eating people, you have spacecrafts coming in and out of space, time, and dimension. All of these negative forces that's been out there for thousands and billions of years, and who literally treated us as cattle. So we are up against a dark cabal that only want to rob, steal, consume everything that we are, because they turned their back on their creator, and their creator doesn't allow them to exist for a certain amount of time. That being said, since they have no love in them, they expire. So they constantly and consciously try to reproduce themselves, which is why they're trying to do AI now and turn everybody into cyborgs, because they cannot do what God can do for you. When everybody realize all of the stuff that I'm teaching, you will realize that you are the weapon, that you are the keys, that you are the technology, and there is nothing that's going to stop you because of your connection to your creator. When they turn their back on Dad, God, Source, they lost all that, which is why they rape and pillage us and keep us enslaved, because they can no longer benefit from him, from it, because Dad can be anything. Fast forward to right now, we are up against just time and allowing the process, because we've already eliminated them. They don't even know it. And when they use their looking glass devices to move into the future to see where they're going, we let them see what Dad wants them to see. So they already lost. The cabal is, again, a bunch of off-planet entities that are here to be as puppet masters. That's why people say they are not human. Well, think about it this way. Normal human beings don't wake up wanting to enslave people. They don't wake up wanting to take children. They don't wake up wanting to drink blood. They don't wake up wanting to just be evil. Okay? Because that's not us. That's not love. That's not our creator. If our creator made us out of love, why would we act this way? Does that make sense? So, that being said, we are up against a off-planet entity, and their job is to come down here, compromise as many people as they can, also inbreed with some of the people, some of the inhabitants of this land, and use them as their puppets to do their bidding. That's why you have a banking cartel. That's why you have a medical cartel. That's why you have a drug cartel, a human trafficking cartel. This is what we're up against, and this is who the cabal is. Now, this is why you have wars also, because these same families, these same hybrids are in control of all this stuff, and their masters are on the top. And their masters only come down here when they have to install fear into their little minions. And how that happens is they come in from a different dimension. They pop up. They look all scary looking, some wear black hoods or red hoods. And we've all heard of the stories of Queen Elizabeth and all that stuff. Well, I took them out a long time ago. This is what they are. They come into this dimension, they scare their puppets, and then their puppets are so scared that they're going to continue to do what they want them to do. If not, they'll come back and slaughter them, kill them in front of each other. And this is exactly what they're doing in Palestine, because it's the same type of mentality that their leaders are doing to them, which is why they feel they can do what they're doing. So it's all the same group that has subgroups. So you got the Draco reptilians, it's not Draco, it's not reptilians, it's both. You got different species, different types. And then you have these guys that are in higher up dimensions that are not so high. They're just in a different density, right? Because above that is us and Dad. This is why we can do the things we can do and eliminate them without them realizing they're being eliminated. These individuals up top are the ones that are in control of the banking system, in control of the armies, in control of the food. That's why we're poisoned. That's why we're having to pay paycheck to paycheck. And then now we're having to deal with all these missing children. The problem is they've always been here. The problem for them is that I'm exposing it energetically so they can't hide. That's a part of me hitting the Schumann resonance every day. Okay? So when you ask again, what are we up against? We are up against a higher up, intelligent group of individuals who think they own this part of the galaxy. They found out a few years back that it's over. The cool part about all this right now is that since I'm telling you guys, you're going to start seeing more evidence of it all. And when it's all said and done, these same individuals will be publicly shown. It's happened already. You got certain people talking on microphones, and then that reptilian voice comes out. You got people shapeshifting on camera. You got all these different things, entities, popping up, and not all of them are bad, by the way, because we're a part of it. We got the Angelics, Galactics, my crew. We just happen to be superior than all of these individuals because we have the love. We have Dad. We have everything because of Source, because of God, because of what we call Daddy now. The Daddy factor, all that. So all of this is going to be exposed. It's going to be revealed. And now is not the time to turn on me, because you're only going to have egg in your face, which is what we're seeing now. We are here. We are in the skies. We're everywhere. You call us drones because your media started calling us drones. We are not drones. We are the light brigade, and we ain't going nowhere. So you all going to see evidence of it all. The reason why I'm here is to open up different portals from different dimensions and bring it all in, because I hold the source code. I am here to make sure we have a beautiful new reality. We are headed into galactic commerce. We are headed into galactic travels. We are headed into a beautiful new reality where our children get to live in peace and they can manifest whatever their heart's desires according to God's will, Dad's will, Source directives. Whatever you can think of, that's where we're headed. As long as it's all about love and unity and helping each other, that's where we're headed. Anything other than that, the vibrations of the planet won't let you exist here. And it's not going to be like the rapture and all of us are going to heaven. No, we are staying right here. And those dark ones are being raptured because their energy can no longer exist in a loving vibration. You don't believe me? Look, there's so much evidence. Put the word hate on the cup, put the word love on the cup, and you tell me what happens. That shows you that in a loving vibration, there's no hate. That's where we're headed. The problem is that the people are still stuck in that everyday life cycle where they don't know that all of these things have changed because no one's told them. And everybody else in the certain communities, the GCR community, the Nasara community, all these different communities, once everybody realizes that it's all said and done and all you have to do is just let go and let God and walk into what he wanted you to be, you will realize that we are in a different place. If you watch the news all day long, you're going to stay in that awful place. It's designed that way. The humans have abilities to manifest. We all know this now because there's a lot of people teaching you about manifestation. The cabal knows you have the abilities to manifest. That being said, they're using your manifestation abilities against you. And you know how they do it? They'll go on the TV and constantly repeat something over and over and over again on all the stations around the country. And that storm that wasn't there 5 minutes ago is now there because they use your manifestation abilities against you to create the storm that you just created. Not only that, they also have everybody lined up to get paid off of the damages that you helped create. Whoa. What? Are you seeing the bigger picture yet? You break the cycle by going in, realizing something's wrong, feeling something's wrong, and listening to people like myself who only want to see good for you. And the way to help you guys understand this more is to connect with me. You can connect with me just by using one of my free downloads on my website, because they have certain energies and certain frequencies in there that will help activate you. The same thing I'm broadcasting to y'all right now. That's how we break the cycle. The more and more you listen to what I say, the more and more you go listen to Sue's interviews or our interviews on Awaken Stories, the more and more you will break the cycle for yourself. And we're here to help. There's nothing, there's no ulterior motives with us. It's so genuine that it scares people. And I'm here to scare a bunch of people. And it's not the loving ones either, because I'm here to protect y'all, which is why when Daddy sends me to do something or to protect someone, there's nothing going to happen to you. That being said, to get out of the cycle fully is to join us, join the Jedis, practice my method that I teach for free, and then reproduce what I taught everyone. When you can do that, then you'll know that Smarty is not full of shit. That's how you break the cycle. It's already here. Breaking the cycle will have everybody else realize it. A lot of the cool things and the cool gadgets, it's being revealed slowly but surely. Now, I'll give you an example. A few months back, you didn't see all of the cool things China had, because the US, Israel's, those holding public office that are foreign entities, those individuals told us lies about Russia, told us lies about China, told us lies about everything, right? So when you all raise your consciousness and realize that we've been lied to, you'll be in utopia. And it's already happening, and that proves it, because when everybody shut down TikTok, they went to Red, I forgot what it was, a China app. It was Red something. The Chinese were showing everybody how they were living, and it wasn't the way we thought. They live for free. They don't pay no taxes, and they get to keep their property until they die, and so on. Their advancements is because they don't have the certain entities constantly trying to stop their advances. They don't have these things over there. And the same with Russia. Russia's evolving nonstop and doing wonderful things, and I like Russia because they don't take no shit, and especially against children. That's why some of the things in Ukraine are happening, because of the pedophilia, child trafficking stuff that's happening there. So the more we come together and collectively raise the vibration of the planet, the faster we get to utopia. I was told in 2018 that I was coming to Destin by Dad. He told me I was coming to Destin because Destin will be the new capital of Earth. It will be where I establish my kingdom, and I was sent here to open the portals here in the Gulf of Galactica, if you would. So that's why I'm here. That's why Destin is super special. And when I got here, I had to clear up a lot of the stuff. There's been a lot of human trafficking in the area, a lot of people involved in high positions. And I'm here to make sure that it gets cleaned up. I'm here to make sure the ships come in. I'm here to make sure the Galactic Embassy gets built. I'm here to make sure the crystalline chambers get delivered to the resort. I'm here for multiple purposes, not just one. When you realize the bigger picture and how Dad really operates, he does know everything. And he doesn't send you to a place just for one thing. He sends you there for multiple things, which is why I'm here. Not to mention, the underwater kingdoms are right off the coast here, and I've already been in communications with them. In fact, I helped a mermaid queen give birth to her child, and I had to be here for that as well. So there's a lot of reasons why I'm here, and you will witness it all. Everybody. It's not something that's just being said. It's something that's being said, but also be validated. My gadgets, my free healing devices, my pendants, my medical wands, all of my stuff works. If it didn't work, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So when you call me a scam, or you call me out my name, or I don't feel right to you, or because of the words coming out of my mouth, like the profanity when I say go yourself, it doesn't bother me, because my work speaks for itself. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. We all know this. That's why here. I also started the Help Someone Today campaign, which is something Dad wanted me to do here. I've also started the Company of Heaven company here. I also got the 501c3 for people that want to help and donate. That's why here. Going back to even the word heaven, it's only a frequency, it's not a place. Now that Dad allowed me to have the word Company of Heaven as a company, I own it. It's mine. And heaven is right here. And we're going to show you just how real heaven is. Right here. Not some distant place where you have to go to, pearly gates, mansions everywhere. There's so many things in the good books that tell you about this place, that tell you about heaven, that tell you about all of the cool things that's coming. However, certain people twisted it up and they make you believe that it's some distant place that you have to die to get to. We are not dying, by the way. The crystalline chambers will take care of all that. We have the right frequencies and all the frequencies to live forever. That's where we're going. And it's all happening right here. So why Destin? That's why. I've known God has been real for all my life. And every time I got into a jam, he, or Daddy, got me out of it. And I knew how real he was because of all that stuff. And then fast forward to now, about 8 years ago, he started talking to me more loudly. And it also, my second in command, which is B, was also a big part of that. We both knew that Dad was real. However, we didn't understand some of the things that was happening to and around us until me and him got together and started communicating with an entity called Source. And because of how it started, we were going on Stargate missions, going into different spaceships, going into different parts of the universe, and just taking out entities and reptilians. One of the first things was, I'm leading up to that, one of the first things was me and B we remote viewed and went into the White House, and there was a reptilian that saw us trying to escape through the tunnel. I went ahead and pretty much teleported, grabbed him by the tail, put him up against the wall, backhanded him, and the head splattered all over the wall. And we're on a Zoom call, and B says, "Holy shit." And then I said, "Wait, did you see that?" He's like, "Yeah, bro, I saw everything." Whew. That's one of the first times that I myself got validated, because I was considered a crazy person. And I was doing all this fantastic stuff, but when that happened, I was like, it's on now. Excuse me. So when that happened, the first thing I said was literally what I just said. It's fucking on now. Then I started just going into the tunnels, and B was right behind me the whole time, and I just kept seeing them, and I would just slice and dice them. And I did it. I didn't have no weapons or nothing on me. I was just doing everything by thought, the same way I was just putting energy into my holograms, a couple of days before that, because Dad told me, this is all you have to do is transfer the energy to your pendants. And I'm like, okay. Fast forward, going back to the tunnels, we're going in and out the tunnels, and I'm just annihilating shit. All I see is these fucking big ass lizard men and just everywhere, and I just went to town on them and messed the whole place up. When I got done doing all that and came back to my my thoughts, or came back to my body, if you would, I was concerned, because I'm a loving person, man. I'm not like, I only get upset when you try to take advantage of me, or if you talk nasty to me or whatever. So I'm a cool person. I don't like that type of shit. My first things was, holy shit, was I supposed to do that? Because I felt bad about it, right? And the voice says, I made you to do that. I was like, wait, who the fuck are you? Because I was ready to attack too. I was already in the mode, taking out certain things. We were going into different parts of the planet. One of them was Angkor Wat Temple. This red winged creature comes out of it, and he starts coming at us, and I spirit him. So I was already in fight, let's go. What the fuck is going on? It was just totally activated. Excuse my French. Dad says that's not French. Anyway, I'm laying it out so that so that everybody understands how I knew without a shadow of a doubt. That's why I'm going through this. After I did all that, he tells me, I made you to do all this. And I'm like, so I'm not going to get in trouble? He's like, no. Then he says, this is who you are. This is what you are. He tells me I was the king of the rainbow race. My name is Sananda Galactic. The ship's been following me my whole birth, my whole everything. He told me I was once Jesus, 19,000 years ago. He told me all of these things that in my mind was just like, what the fuck is happening right now? This is crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was crazy too. Okay? He told me all these different things, but then what shortly happened after that is he started telling me to do certain things and go on little missions. And every time I did it, something happened. And I was like, holy shit. At the time, right before that, I had about 5 individuals that didn't know each other. However, they were skilled with using pendulums and muscle testing, right? There's many ways to learn all that. These individuals didn't know anything about each other from a can of paint. What I did was I used all of these individuals to validate things that Dad was saying to me. And every single one of them got the same answer back to back to back to back. That's what helped me understand, and that's what helped me realize, oh shit, this is some real shit. The whole thing was a trip. But like I said before, I already knew that I was special. You know, I felt the connection to the Jesus story because of all the cool things that he was said to do. I never prayed to him though, because I felt like I'm here just like him, doing the same shit, you know, same stuff. With all that happening and Dad telling me what to do, I was convinced. You couldn't like, he's already validated everything. He's already shown me and proved to me that I was what he was saying, and it wasn't just some entity called Source. When I even got into that, it's like, well, who are you? I'm ready to go fight you too, because that's just the way that I am. You know, darkness, I'm there. I'm the first one. I don't care. I was ready to go at him, and B's like, he's because we was text messaging, and I seen it, and I see this big ball of light just pop up, and I'm like, okay. B's like, he says he's your dad. I'm like, wait, what? And then that's how it all started. Shortly after that, we started communicating with Dad, with Daddy, back and forth, and he would tell me things like, hit your car. I'd hit the car go from woo to like woo, like, oh shit. Hit the refrigerator would go from just stop. The pendants, he told me to, mind you, I just got done buying, you know, about $700 worth of material to make my pendants with the glitter, because people wanted my stuff because it was actually working. So I just spent $700 to make all these pendants. I get a text message from B saying, hit this pendant real quick. He sends me a photo of his Bible with a locket, a keychain locket on it, and he says, hit this pendant. So through the photo, I hit the pendant, and then he sends me another text message that says, holy shit, the energy's there. That's how that all started. So then the first thing I did was make a new pendant, and he gave me the design, which was the flower of life. There's a lot of controversy out there about the flower of life pattern. Daddy told me to use it. I use it. Again, source directives. I did what I was told. I make these pendants, I get them in, I hit them with all these frequencies, put them on the market. Everybody's loving it. Everybody's getting healed. I'm like, oh shit, this is real. This is very real. Throughout the whole time, Dad's been telling me certain things, including destiny, including what was going to happen, including, you know, all of these different groups, all of these different fashions were going to be eliminated, and I was going to do it. That's how I knew who I am, and you can't convince me otherwise, because Dad already did. So this is why I don't care what anybody says. I even respond to negative comments in a funny way where I'll do a kissing emoji. Have a great day. Love you. Bye, bye, bye. Because I understand what's happening. I understand that people aren't consciously there yet. And I also understand that I can just change their frequency by creating a loving ball of energy around them, which either messes up their day or they have a great day, depending on what side of the fence they're really on. Everything is energy, and I'm able to transfer it anywhere. Dad is funny. He's compassionate. He'll cry with you. He'll laugh at you. He'll make you do things just for you to learn. He'll be there when you need him. He'll talk to you and tell you things that you need to hear when you want to hear them. And you have to know when it's him and not you. Or when you do realize that it's him and not you, then you will have that relationship that you should have with him. I mean, think about it. A lot of you guys worried about not paying your bills because you don't have enough funding, not doing this because you lack a vehicle. When you connect yourself with Dad, he will provide everything. Let's say you want to go to some place and you lack the funds. If you just trust him and say, Dad, if you want me to go, show me. He will make it happen if he wants you to go. If he don't want you to go, it's never going to happen. You have to accept that, because the faster you accept that you didn't go because he didn't want you there, the faster you will realize it's him. He doesn't do anything to put us in harm's way. And if he does, in your opinion, put you in harm's way, it's because there's something that you have to learn in that scene, in that experience. You're not going to deal with, some life-threatening stuff unless you were chosen to do that, or you already chose to do that before you got here. So he's very, very lenient, and he wants you to experience things, which is why he gave you free will in the first place. The cool thing about that is that he will let you do the Jonah effect until you get it. I mean, that's the coolest thing in my opinion. You mean to tell me my creator allows me to mess up all the time until I get it, and doesn't allow no harmful things to happen to me until I get it, but maybe kick myself in the butt here and there? Yeah. That's the cool thing about our Dad, our creator, our God, our source. Everybody calls him differently all around the world. Allah, whatever you want to call Dad. There's so many things that I can address with that answer. It's nonstop. And the cool thing about me is that he speaks through me. So a lot of the stuff that I say, I literally have to go back and watch some of my own interviews, because sometimes I'm zoned out and he'll just say certain things and, okay, Daddy, which also activates things for me later on. Oh, I just said that? Okay, well, let me put the energy to it so that it fully manifests, right? This whole reality is literally energy, frequencies, sound, vibration. So when we say things, and I said it that way because me and Dad, when we say things, it's because he wants it said, he wants it shown, and he wants to show the evidence of it, which is where we're at right now. It's simple. It's very simple. A lot of people go through life not knowing what's really happening. However, they say things like, something told me to go this way, or something told me to pull this shut, or something told me not to go over there to that party. That something is what you call source, God, creator. He knows everything. He knows your future. He knows your past. He knows where you're going throughout existence. When you're going down the road and something tells you to turn this way and you do it, you find out later why something told you to go that way. That something is God. It's source. When you feel that something, and now that you're seeing this and listening, you're going to realize that something that you didn't know was God the whole time. And he doesn't like to be called something. So, stop saying that. That something was always God. They say God doesn't talk to you. How do you know? He's in you. You don't have to go to some building. He made you. You're a part of him. You're not a part of me. You're a part of source. You're a part of dad, what we call dad. I call daddy because me and him have a intimate relationship. And I try to quit every day because I'm tired of this shit, okay? Which is not happening. But me and him joke around like that. He'll laugh at me, put some heat on my backside, and then tell me to get back to work. It's my dad. It's our dad, our creator. When you connect to your creator the way that I am, the way that B is, the way that my brothers and sisters around me are, you will never, ever, ever have to worry about anything because you will know that he is there with you. He's the supplier. He does everything for you. All you have to do is tap into that thing you called something. Once you start the process like I'm telling you to start right now, it will get stronger. It will get so strong that you will be so grateful and so upset with yourself that you didn't pay attention to that something a long time ago. And it's okay because everybody's here on their own path. Everybody's here experiencing their own experiences. Even the loved ones that went to the other side. They were here to educate us, teach us, experience this stuff, and leave. Some of us ain't so lucky. What I mean by that is some of us are not going nowhere for a long time, and no matter if they nuke this planet, we will still be here. So, this is why we have to get our stuff together and continue to fix, heal, repair, and rebuild this planet because we are not going nowhere. There's a lot of people here that don't know why they've experienced all the stuff they experience and are still alive. I just told you why. The best and easiest way is to just, quiet the mind, go to a better water, because dad's always where water's at. Water's also been proven to drain all of the sorrow and negative energy out of your body, which is why when people come to the beach, that's what they do first, is go touch the water. It doesn't have to be the beach like here. It can be a big body of water and just stay there and listen. You can also do meditation and ask for your creator to make himself known, make himself visible, ask for signs. We are in such a powerful vibrational state on the planet where you're going to get what you want. And if that's what you want, to connect to your creator the way I am, the way that my crew is, you're going to get it. There's pros and cons with it all, and the bad part about it all is that when you get closer to dad and you start doing what you're supposed to do, you will be tested by the dark forces. They will come after you. They will say certain things, and it's not physically, it's dimensionally. They'll put voices in your head. They'll do a lot of things, even steal your car keys for a day. They'll mess with your computer. You won't get nothing done. And that's because they are attempting to lower your vibration. Dad is here, way up here. This is love. This is positive energy. This is light. This is everything good. So when you're reaching for Dad and you're connecting to Dad, these lower dimensional entities, these lower dimensional beings don't want you there. So they will do everything to lower your vibration. Everything. Okay? And it's I'm not like, it happens to me too. I'm just so skillful with it. I just go, what do we gotta do next? That's the type of thing that you'll have to understand moving forward when you connect to Dad. There's plenty of literature out there that will say things like, you're here on a mission, and when you start that mission, the devil's going to throw everything at you. Right? We've all seen it. Okay? Well, the devil's dead. I took him out a long time ago. Moving forward, connect to Dad, realize that all you need is him, help everybody around you, and the fastest way to get what you want is literally to help everybody around you. No matter what. Open the door for them, smile for them, give them a couple of dollars if they need it. You know, nothing that's going to break your bank, but there's so many cool things you can do to help uplift everybody around you. And that's the fastest way to get to Dad. Do what he made you to do. Be loving, be compassionate, be caring, be kind. And don't take no shit, because I don't. I got right with Dad by doing my work and helping and healing people like he wanted me to do. And that's besides all of the other dimensional stuff that I do. Because that, you know, turned out was normal for me. It was natural, right? But down here, you know, getting right with him is doing just that. He built us all. He created us all. And he gave us love. He gave us things that other entities won't have, which is why we're targeted the way we are. We have Dad. We have love. The cabal knows this, which is why they are constantly attacking and consuming our children, because they have the love in their blood, and they use that love and turn it into adrenochrome to stay alive. And that's also evident when you look at all of the arrests and all of the people being confined because of the C-19. A lot of the people that you like as movie stars were fading away, right? Because they don't have the love from Daddy no more, and we cut off their supply. So connecting to Dad and staying connected to Dad is to do what he built you to do, which is your source directives. We have a thing called free will. The cool thing about free will is you get to do whatever you want to do, right? Look at the cabal. They're doing whatever they want to do. Look where we're at because of them doing whatever they want to do. However, they've also lost access to the future because of them doing what they wanted to do. Now, fast forward, you got source directives, which is God's plan. Source directives is doing everything Daddy wants you to do. So connecting to him, he will show you what to do. Your free will goes out the window, literally, when you connect with Dad, because you'll start doing everything he wants you to do. And if you don't believe that, go read Jonah and the Whale. Nowadays, I say, oh, this person is going through the Jonah effect because this person didn't want to listen. Okay? When you connect to Dad and you stay connected to Dad, you won't have Jonah effects no more. And everything will go right for you that Dad wants to go right for you. It's not what you want. It's what he wants for you. So I say things like, okay, Daddy, whatever you got, whatever we need to do, let's do it. And then he will show me. He will guide me. Smarty doesn't do what Smarty wants to do. Because if Smarty wanted to do what Smarty wanted to do, I'd be on Crab Island right now. You see what I'm saying? However, these videos, these documents are vital to what's happening and what's coming for all of us. And it's not that hard to stay connected to Dad. You are loving. Last time I checked, we are all loving. We're all here to serve a purpose. We were all made to hang out with one another, learn from one another, teach one another, be at peace with one another. The cabal created the system that we're in, the dog eat dog mentality, the wars, the famine, the poison in our food. That's not of love. That's why it's fading away. And that's why we all have to witness it. We literally have to witness it. We can't move into a new reality not realizing what was happening and not seeing and not exposing the fact that underground all of these things were happening. Us exposing things on this planet the way we are right now is what needs to be done for the entire collective to heal in ways that the people never healed. People healed from trauma, from different things, but yet they still had to get up and go to work, pay their bills, and do stuff like that. Nothing Dad created. He allowed it to be created because it was a part of someone's free will to create it for us. However, that's all fading away. We are going to live in a utopia, like you said, because everybody's going to realize what the cabal has been doing to separate us. And they lost miserably, which is why they are finished in more ways than one. Doing what you love, doing what you feel like doing, 9 times out of 10, that's your mission. Literally. Like you guys are right here, right now doing this. I'm sure you love this shit, because if not, you wouldn't be here. This is your mission, right? I'm here because this is my mission. I'm the one that come out looking like a weirdo because that's my mission. I'm the one talking all this crazy stuff because it's my mission. Because one day, the world is going to realize Smarty was for real. Smarty is for real. And 200, 500, 1,000 years from now, Smarty will still be here. Okay? Teaching you all until we all get right with Dad. And a beautiful new reality connected to Dad is where we're headed. There's no way around it. There's no way around going against me or Dad. The closest thing, or closest, the fastest way to get to Dad is allowing me to help you. I don't force anything down people's throats. I teach y'all. I'm educating y'all. And those of you that are getting it were supposed to get it. Those of you that don't get it, you wasn't supposed to get it right now. But you will eventually, because you're not going nowhere either. When the embarrassment and stuff kicks in, just know that I still love you and I understand. Okay? In my opinion, they all wrong, and here's why. They all fight each other, and they all lack love. Some of them say we are compassionate, we do this, we do that. However, do they really? The answer is no, because I've witnessed it. I can say these things because I've witnessed it and because I know what love is all about. And I know you don't need some book to tell you that Dad is love, because I operate in love, right? The reason why I say that is because I was in a place where there was multiple religions, and there were also, segregated, if you would. There was multiple religions in the same area, and none of them talked to each other because of their religion. I didn't see no love there at all. because of their religion, because of something somebody told them, because of some book that they read. That's why, in my opinion, they all have it wrong. The last time I checked, we were supposed to love each other unconditionally. I don't see that in any of the religions, including Christianity, that's supposed to be one of the legitimate ones, because of that same thing. And if you go to, parts of the world that supposedly have all the answers, you'll find that they don't have all the answers because they're lacking loving one another. That's where we're at with that. All of my children are like myself. I started saying that we were all here to change things. My children are also evolved conscious beings that are billions of years old as well. That's why they incarnated here at this time, because Dad has created a new royal lineage starting with me. All of us are super intelligent, and we are here on missions and purpose. We will be the kings and queens that they talked about for thousands of years to come. It's not just going to be 1,000 years and then we're going to go into chaos and stuff like that. That's what they wanted you to believe. We're going to live for a very long time, and it will happen through the children. If you know JJ, you know he's working on Move. Move is a new education system for all the children, where you'll get to learn and we'll pay you for it. That's one of my children doing that. The newest addition to the Galactic Royals, if you would, is Sophie. Sophie is out of this world. She's the newest addition, and she's very, very intelligent, very gifted, and she sees me as Sananda Galactic already. And there's evidence of it all over the place with her, and we even have videotapes of her seeing the photo of me and her together in my Sananda Galactic look. And when you ask her who it is, she'll say, Dad, because she has the vision. She has the abilities to see space, time, and dimension all at the same time. When you guys see this, you see me, Smarties, King Smarty, you see this. Sophie sees Sananda Galactic, the person or the entity in the videos that we produce. And the AI got my image so, spot on. It's mind-boggling on how Dad's involved in all this stuff. Sophie, she will be one of the future queens that will allow me to take a break when I need to, because she has, her little mission is to make sure everything gets addressed everywhere around the world, around the universe. And Dad said she'll spend a lot of time in certain areas of the world where there's fashion. I won't say it now, I'll let it manifest. She's not to be played with. She's already showed her attitude. She's like my mom. She's like myself. She's loving, and she's not tainted. What I mean by that is, she was born in our house in a birthing tub, and she has 0 shots. And Dad wanted it that way so that she wouldn't be interfered with, and she has all of her abilities intact. That's why it happened that way. Anything coming at her don't only have to deal with me, you have to deal with Dad. And Dad is the one you don't want to, I can't say get upset, because he doesn't get upset, but you don't want Dad giving me the go-ahead to do something, because he has the final say. And when he has the final say, I do not hesitate. So Sophie and all the other children are coming into this reality, and they will be royal, powerful children for humanity. We're not coming in to enslave people. I've already shown you evidence that that's not what I'm doing. My children are just like me, and like I said, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. And it's proven, it's shown. Since she was 5 months, she was doing things and picking up things that normal children wouldn't do. So that being said, my children and Sophie and her other brothers and sisters that are not even on this planet yet, who already exist, will come together and continue the peace and the the peaceful evolution of the species that our Father created. The last thing you want to do is have me come back out after all this is said and done, because I'm not playing games. He is a retired dentist out of Birmingham, Alabama. B has a wild story of his own. If you guys remember the 3 little girls that burnt in the fire in the church in Alabama, well, B was their neighbor, and he was playing with those little girls. I think it was the same day it happened or the day before, and that stood with him the whole time, and he's experienced a lot of things that was bad stuff. However, it didn't stop him from becoming what Dad wanted him to be. He's my second in command, and shortly after we got together, that's the first thing I heard. He's your second in command, and I'm like, okay. He's very, very, very soft, very gentle. He's like the gentle giant. I call him a giant ninja because he looks Chinese too, depending on how you look at him. Every day we wake up, Daddy gives us little missions to take care of. Some of them we don't have to leave the house for. Today we had to leave the house because we had to come into the areas that we'll be mostly in and eliminating darkness. What we're doing right now is we're going to the locations that he shows us, and he tells us where to go, where to be, what to visit next, what to do, what to hit. Hit them with love and light energy constantly. No need to argue, no need to say anything. You think about that love and light energy being wrapped around that individual, and that individual will take off and either have a good day or bad day. Either or, I don't care. B stops me from taking out the wrong people, or should I say taking out the people prematurely. I always ask Daddy and B if I should, or if I have approval to address someone, which is remove them, which is send them to Dad. The way we do it is it's a literal evaporation, and nobody will even know you existed, because we can do things like that. He's my brother. Like I said, he was a retired dentist. We met on the Real Truth Call with Dr. WC. One of the nights where Dr. WC decided to bring in a dentist to help all of her callers make sure that they were flossing properly, taking care of their teeth properly. And that's how I grown to know B and also trusted him, because I don't trust everybody. And now I still don't trust everybody, but however, if Dad says to go ahead and do it, it's because something's going to happen, something's going to get revealed. Going back to that, he was on there telling everybody how to take care of your teeth and all that. And that's how I trusted him. Shortly after that, I started getting on the Real Truth Call because somebody got a hold of my text messages that I was putting out for free that had a photo that had frequencies in it, and we was passing it out. So I ended up getting on the Real Truth Call because of that. Fisher was a gentleman who was on the Real Truth Call. He brought me on the Real Truth Call. After being on the Real Truth Call, we ended up being on a Zoom call like I mentioned earlier, and shortly after us getting on the Zoom call, I knew who he was because I heard his voice, I heard his name. And during those Zoom sessions, like I was saying, we were on a Zoom session that was teaching people how to, basically, do like astral travel and leave your bodies and go to different realms and different dimensions. B was on that call and we was doing it together, and that's how it started. Like I was saying, once we were on that call together and I knew who he was, we started communicating directly through text messages, and I would ask him certain things and he would respond in a certain way that I was expecting, because I was also testing the waters, because I just don't trust anybody at that time. Now I know, whether don't talk to this person, talk to this person. In the beginning of all this 8 years ago, I was testing the waters to see what I was feeling and sensing from these people, because I do have discernment, right? I have discernment. When we started communicating and going on these calls and these missions is how it all started. And the bigger event was when we went into the base or the tunnels under the White House. Since then, we started texting every day, commanding and sending the ships, because Dad was telling us that we were in charge of all these spacecrafts. We started sending the ships and scanning the ships and telling them to scan, and every day, 3 times a day, we would scan the planet, and every time there was something that would pop up and we would address it. I would see it, he would see it, and we just go at it and take care of it. Then fast forward 2 or 3 years later, we started calling each other, because it wasn't just like, yo, it was growing pains, if you would. So then we started communicating verbally, and I was helping him with his sister. She transitioned. I was helping him with everything, and helping him, and between me and him, we were helping each other to evolve to where we are right now. Because of B and because of his role in all this, I'm super confident of where I'm at and who I am. And he is the same. He's super confident, and he doesn't want to be me. He don't want to be me. He don't want my role. If you ask him, he'll say it. I don't want Smarty's role. That's his role. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be that. He didn't even want to be known. However, Dad decided otherwise. So that's why you even know about B. We're constantly working. We're down here together in Destin, and we're enforcing all of the necessary changes that need to take place. And Daddy is showing him all the different targets that we have to address, whether it's healing, whether it's protecting, whether it's eliminating, whether it's sending a ship or a fleet or a galactic armor, armada, or whatever the case is. So that's why we literally have the 2 chairs next to each other, and every morning we're there kicking ass, and I don't take names or numbers. So besides sitting on the couch for most of the time, we have these little missions that we go on, and normally it would be like, okay, today's the day, or that day dad will say something like, let's say it's Sunday. If it's a Sunday and we have to do things on a Tuesday or Wednesday, he'll say, okay, do this and then go there, and then do this and then go there. So what that looks like is us just allowing the process, hitting everything we have to hit, and then we have to go on our missions. What that is we get into the vehicles, we ride around the island, and we re-energize all of the things that Dad wants re-energized. That goes for all of the new housings that we will own, all of the new areas that we will own, all of the lands that we will own that we already owned. They just don't know it. And a lot of the times while we're passing by some of these houses and hotels, B picks up on pedophilia, molestations, and we address it on the spot. That is something that comes up a lot in this area, where we literally have to address something like that. The Dark Ones have these abilities as well. They just don't have them like we do. They will come over an area and just put a dark cloud around it, and you can literally see it when we train you. So what we do is we run around, and B will just point at it, or he'll say it, and then I'll see it, and then I'll just get rid of it. If it's a dark cloud, I'll just hit it, blow up the cloud, or I'll just, depending on what Dad wants me to do, because he literally shows me what to do. Whether it's me just hitting it, clearing the energy, restoring the energy, or sending a micro mini vacuum, sucking it all up, then clearing it and hitting the entire area where it's now re-energized with positive energy. As far as the molestations, we literally cut the genitals off in the act. And I'm sure that people have been found this way in this area. It hasn't been exposed because of, the people in this area don't want that to be exposed because of this tourist attraction. There's a lot of things like that happening in this area, including the missing young ladies that come down here. They don't want you to know that there's a group of individuals high up in some of these positions around here allowing people to take young ladies that come down here on vacation, because that's bad for business. So we address all that stuff, and we're exposing it like never before, and this video, it will also do that. I've warned them for many years. I've been here since 2021. I've warned them over and over again what I was here to do. They didn't believe me. In fact, one of them was sent to one of my young ladies and told them that I was getting myself in trouble here. And the response was, well, Smarty does like to evaporate people. And it's true, I do. So it's I get it. It's hard to understand. It's hard to believe. However, the evidence is coming out. It's here. There's no going back. I used to feel like I needed to be vindicated and all this other stuff. And Dad told me, why? I know what you did. Okay, that's all I needed to hear. There's a lot of things that Dad said that was all I needed to hear. I was worried about certain people, certain kids. And one of the things he told me was, so you can take care of them better than I can? Okay, you got me there. The answer is no. So stuff like that is why, I don't worry too much. I don't worry about a lot of things, because it's true. Like, who can take care of us better than Dad can? We have a bunch of crew members The locally here now is one of my brothers, Stephanus, coming from LA. You all know the interviewer, which is Sue Greenwald. She's been a big help to get the word out, to get the message out. A lot of people, say awful things to her too. However, she's connected to Dad, and she's been through things that you can't explain unless I was telling the truth. Now, I'm saying that to say this. B gets hit all the time. For instance, when we work on certain things, he'll immediately get jolted because they'll stick a spear in him. They'll hit him with an energy blast, and it's all dimensionally. Like, these entities will literally come in, strike, and then leave. And then I have to trace all that. I'm saying that because Sue also experiences that. And when she does, I'm right there to clean her up. So our crew is a little freaky, but we are very real. When we do some of the work that we do, and because of us connecting to Dad the way that we do and doing our missions the way that we do, we are targets. And Sue's one of them. So she's been a good part of all this stuff, and she's doing a lot of good work. And I hear she's working on a new expo, which is exciting. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it hasn't been easy for her because of those same things. And you can, like, if you was to sit next to her and have a conversation and something that they didn't want her to say, she'll get hit and you'll see it. Because she's like dramatic too. Oh. But then again, so is B. They're both like dramatic, and I'm like, quit your crying. Come on, let's clean them right up, and it's like nothing happened because it's all energy, right? So when they hit them, I say things like, quit your blood clot crying, and it's back to normal. And that we do in the public. I don't give a shit who's looking. Excuse my French. I don't care who's looking. I'm way past those stages. There are some times where I feel like this person shouldn't see this because it's going to look like we're weird. And it's like, there's Daddy. I didn't ask you that. Just do it. Okay. So that's why a lot, people called us crazy and all this stuff. But people are coming around to the truth of it all. Everybody serves a purpose. Every single one of you guys. Everyone. Just because you're not me, just because you're not Sue, just because you're not B, just because you're not Stephanus, just because you're not you guys, don't mean you guys don't serve a purpose. Everybody has a role to play, and you wouldn't want my role. There's people that, claim to be me, and when push comes to shove, you don't want this role. Everything is frequencies. Everything is vibration. Everything is, most of it is a crew of individuals that gather throughout the universe that are here to help liberate the planet, which is what's happening. When I release a set of angels or a model of angels, or when Dad has me release it, right? Because Dad has full control. He has total control. He allows me to do certain things. Dad has full control. When he tells me to go into the crystalline palace, release a set of angels, have a group of galactics, go take care of this, go take care of that, it's because it's time for the world to realize that there is a benevolent force known as the Light Brigade, right? We're not the Galactic Federation. We're not none of that. We are simply the Light Brigade. We have the fullest authority, full clearance. We don't need permission to go into some base. We don't need permission from anybody because we have Dad. My whole team, the Light Brigade, all the crew members, all the light forces follow Dad. Period. When we release certain beings on this planet, or when Dad gives the approval for certain light beings on this planet, they already have their missions, they already have their roles, and they do it. My job being the Supreme Commander is to make sure they do it. And they know I have the abilities to eliminate them as well, so they don't want to fall short. The last thing you want to do as an angel is come out of, stasis for a very long time, not do what you're supposed to do and get demoted, right? You wouldn't want that. It's like all of us here wouldn't want to come this far and then mess up, and then we have to start all over. In reality, that's what's been the case for a long time. We've been having to come here to do this over and over and over and over again. Time, space, dimension, the different lifetimes. Everybody's been waiting for the Jesus presence, if you would, to come back. What they don't know is I've been coming back multiple times. Jesus was just one of the most famous ones, if you would. However, I'm here now. I'm with my light brigade. We are not going nowhere. This is the last cycle of that over and over and over and over and over and over and over. What the last cycle looks like is no more death, no more pain, no more suffering, no more bills, no more BS. This is why we are all here, and there's billions of us. The cabal is outnumbered, kind of like 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 to 1. If we was to uncloak, when we uncloak, you will see everything. So, stay ready, because we are here, and we're not going nowhere. What I do is me working on all the cool things, which is educating people, which is making frequency devices, which is helping someone today campaigns, which is changing out the movie industry, the film industry, which is the same, the music industry, the fruits and vegetables campaign. We're doing that, eliminating toxics in our foods, cleaning water, recycling things like never before, cleaning up the planet, re-educating people. One of the biggest source directives is to reform the currency world, the currencies. And we haven't even talked about that. I have my own currency, and the design was from Dad. So source directives is literally changing everything down here that needs to be changed to free all of us. That's source directives. That's literally God's plan. People talk about God's plan, it's a part of God's plan, but they don't really understand the plan is bigger than just Earth. The universe is watching all of us. If you think we're here by ourselves on this little planet and there's nothing else out there, there's something wrong with you. All of us that are here, like I was just explaining, are on source directives. Our directives is to change things down here, everything I just stated, get everybody back on track with Dad. That's source directives. It's a sting operation because nobody knew that I was here doing it. All of us that are here doing source directives came in under the radar. What I mean by that is you guys don't realize what we're up against. You guys don't realize that they're tracking your energy every time you come into this realm. First of all, we're all here on light conceptions. That's how we were made. It's a light conception mixed with natural birth. In that process, we had to dim down our energies just so that when we come in, the sensors that they have on the planet doesn't pick up on that. Did you hear that? So that being said, We all had to come in under the radar. And now that we're here, Dad planned it in such a way where at every point in time in your life, you get activated to your source directives. Right now, while you're watching this stuff, this video, this me talk here, you're going to be so highly in tuned in the next few minutes and before this, when you're watching the beginning of it, you're going to start to be feeling different, vibrate higher, and understand that this all has been a galactic sting operation, and we all were toned down before we had to achieve, or before we got to fully geared up, lace your boots up and all that stuff. Your source directives don't really start until you are fully activated and you got all the information that you need to continue the sting operation, which is what's happening and has happened for a lot of you guys. During our childhood, we had to experience certain things to get us where we're at. That being said, along the way, when I started putting out the frequencies, and basically everybody on the planet already knows about me and my frequencies, there was special codes in all of the free downloads to activate y'all. And what that did was, not only did it activate y'all, but it strengthened your vibrations so that you can be a beacon for your source directives, your sting operation. Just by you being here and just by me sending thousands of text messages around the world lifted the vibration and activated people. So when I say galactic sting operation, it's literally a galactic sting operation that people won't even comprehend until they listen to what I'm saying, with the evidence to follow. This has been going on for thousands of years, and we're at the last cycle of it all. We had to do things in such a way where no one knew that we were here. No one knew that we were coming, which is why they still think they're in control, even the good guys. The good guys ain't in control of nothing. Only Dad is. That's what source directives is. That's why they don't know how many ships are in the sky, whose ships are they. They don't know any of that unless they listen to me. And this is not everyone, because there is a need to know bases within the militaries around the world. The higher ups know who exactly we are because they monitor my conversations all day, every day. Daddy wanted it that way. He wanted it that way so that they can see and witness, and that they can later on show the world that I've been here doing this, and everything that I said was real, is real, and is happening. So it's one of the most brilliantest plans Daddy put together. Source directives, sting operation, and we did it. We won. It's over. And evidence is coming right now. The healing centers, the crystalline chambers, are things that we already have, and they already exist. One of the reasons that I'm here, and it's multiple, is because I'm going to purchase the resort here down the road. I'm going to revamp it, and we are going to put the crystalline chambers in it so that people from all around the world can come and receive their new everlasting bodies. That's what the healing centers and crystalline chambers are about. So you'll have a location where you get to come, you get to experience it, you get to tell others, and if you're lucky, if you're chosen, you get to take one with you to your location. There's only a handful of them, of the chambers. However, I will be able to manifest the chambers wherever I go instantly. Those type of things are coming in the very, very, very near future. We're only waiting for Dad's approval to instantly manifest a chamber. Just like that. I never, ever, ever, ever put limitations on myself or dad, especially dad, because I know all things are possible. I've witnessed it. I've seen it. I'm sure you guys seen it too. There's plenty of videos that are showing unexplained things. Dad can do anything. That being said, the crystalline chambers will be here in Destin. They will be released shortly. They will be free. As long as you get here and you have approval by dad, you will be able to use it. With that being said, we cannot force anybody to walk into the chambers, because it has to be a conscious decision between you and dad, because it's a life-changing thing. It's going to change your look. It's going to change your abilities, your knowing, your remembering, everything. It's going to change it all. The healing centers will start here, and what will happen is we will mimic or reproduce the same type of setting everywhere around the world where dad indicates, and it's already happening. It's actually already there. We are walking into it, and I can say things like that because the way my mind works is I already see it, so it's already there. That doesn't mean the building is up and the chambers are in it, or should I say the buildings are up and the chambers are in it, depending on what time or space I'm looking at it. Because again, we are multi-dimensional beings, and we can see everything if you tap in. And that's what I do. Me and B are the best at it, which is why we can say things and see things and it happens, because we've already were there. It's kind of like astral traveling and remote viewing and touch healing at the same time, like all balled up. That's why I can say things like I just said. The chambers are real. They will do multiple things, including bring people back from the dead. Now, don't blow my phone up. Don't email me all day long about this, because you've already tried, and the answer will be the same. You got to hurry up and wait. We are allowing the process. I'm here to inform you guys that it's taking place, and there's nothing that can stop it. It is a game changer. I was going to say it's going to be, but I have to speak as if it's already done. So it is a game changer, and all of us that will be in the area will get to experience it first. That doesn't mean to rush over here and get in line and hang out and all that stuff. No. You still have stuff to do. When it's time, it will be no doubt that you're supposed to be here at this time. The cool part is that we will be having events leading up to that. So you never know what will happen at the event. We're allowing the process until we get to the healing, the crystalline chambers and the healing centers. As I'm educating myself and learning about all the different healing people out there, a lot of people do touch healing and Reiki healing and remote healings and all these different tarot cards and talking and book a session with me and I'll heal you and all this stuff. My healings is simple, effective, and you don't have to charge. You don't have to pay me, because I do my healings because it's the right thing to do, and I do it so fast where I would feel like I'm taking advantage of you, and I don't do that. I don't do those type of things, and I probably won't be allowed to. However, I never attempted to, so I never did. My healings are so quick and easy where all you have to do is call me and say, Smarty, if I pick up anyway. 9 times out of the 10, I won't pick up because I'm doing something more important. However, not saying you guys healings are not important. You can just text me and I'll just do what I gotta do. And since it's so fast that way, I wouldn't charge and I wouldn't feel comfortable charging. You can say, Smarty, I have a tumor in my, the right side of my head. Okay, done. Anything else? Goodbye. That's how fast it is. Because I understand how energy works. I understand how we work. I understand how Dad works. And I understand how it's a part of my source directive, so I couldn't charge you for it. I just wouldn't sit right with me. You know, you can call me whatever you want, but you're not going to call me a scammer or somebody who's greedy or somebody who just wants things, who just wants money. Again, everything I have, Dad allowed me to have it. I worked for it. And one day you will have all of the cool things I have and even more, because there's certain things I just don't care for. Okay? There is a lot of people out there that are doing those type of healing sessions, and they want you to book a session, and it's going to cost anywhere from $100 to $600. And next thing you know, you're in that cycle of, I got to call this person back because of this, because of that, and then you're getting charged again. That's not what I wanted for myself, and that's not what I teach my Jedis and my family's brothers and sisters to do. Which is also why we are the best at it, because we're not coming from a place of, give me your money. We're coming from a place of genuine, I want to heal you, here's what I can do, and here's what I will do. So that's what keeps us authentic, that's what keeps us legit, and that's what keeps us strong, because we're operating, doing it out of love, not because we want a paycheck. That's my healing. Because of me paying attention to all the different modalities out there and the different techniques and all that stuff, I was taught that you can transfer certain energies from certain products and put them into a photo. And the way that I was doing it at first was simply putting one of the healing modalities onto a printer. And then I would print out the design that I made. At first it was just a design of HT, which stands for Holotech, which also stands for holographic technology. And the reason for it is because that's how I see. You've seen certain space movies where you have the gentleman or the lady sitting on a chair and then this holographic thing pops up. That's literally how I see everything, and that's how I can, that's how I know what it is, where's the target at, because it's a multi-dimensional thing. We're literally like computers, right? And that's called the holographic realm. That's why I call my hollows hollow. I was able to see all of it actually happening. However, the part that I was missing was when Dad told me that I can transfer the energies. So when I transferred the energies, I didn't need the printer. I didn't need the modalities. I didn't need anything, because here's what he said. Everything is energy. Everything is a frequency. When you want the frequency, you ask me for it. Are you serious? Was it that easy? So in my mind's eye, I would say, okay, I need the frequencies for this. And then I would see a beam of light come down and hit the device. And then this was before that. This was when I was seeing the energy and the printers and all that. And then I would just see, whoosh, okay, thank you very much, wherever that came from. So with that being said, when Dad told me that I can harness the energies and send the energies from one place to another, in my mind's eye, I was just opening my hands, and they would just go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And then my hand would just glow up like, oh shit, this is cool. And then I would just take the glowing and then place it over the object, and there it was. So again, it was a process. It didn't happen just overnight. However, all of the stuff that I learned as a kid made it so easy for me, because I just like processed it like wham. I'm the fastest there is at processing shit that I know so far anyway. Besides daddy, there's nothing faster than me, is what we're told. So I'm able to see everything. And I understood because of certain quantum physics that everything has energy, everything has frequencies. It's literally this easy. I can take an apple, pull up the apple on right here in front of me. It's floating literally right here. There's a screen around it. And then on this side, there's like a bunch of codes and numbers. And I know because of research that not everybody can eat apples because some people have allergic reactions. So me knowing that apples, bananas, depending on what it is, I can then take that apple, pull the frequencies of it so that you can have the nourishment of it all, right? The benefits of it all, and then turn off that allergic reaction energy frequency that's harming people that can't have apples. So now I just took the apple energy frequencies, took it from the higher up dimensions, brought it to this dimension, put it on a piece of paper, then uploaded the piece of paper to the internet, and now you can have all the benefits of the apple without the allergic reaction. Mind you, I just did all that and I did it for free. So no matter what you say about me, you can't stop what I've already done. You can censor it, you can say what you want. It's still there. It's still free. You can go download it. In fact, all you have to do is go to my website, put a cup up next to any hologram that you want, hold the cup there for 2 minutes. You don't even have to follow the protocol because the protocol was there for you to be able to download the image for free, put it on photo paper, place it on the table as a coaster, put your food and beverages on it, and consume the healing frequencies and get rid of the dis-ease, right? We went further and just said, scratch all that. Everybody has a cell phone. Let's just make sure it's broadcasting through the internet, and we just tell them to do this. The wording is still there, the protocol is still there, but just tell them to put their phone or water or a cup of coffee up to the image, allow the frequencies to transfer, drink. It's faster, it works, we're done. So that's how I create my free hollows. And the last time I checked, there's nobody doing it that way. And I'm pretty sure there's nobody capable of doing it that way unless Daddy approves. Pure love energies, pure love science. Dad told me that for many years, people won't understand what I'm doing for many years to come. And the only way to get to understand what I can do, where I'm coming from, is through quantum physics, quantum mechanics. If you don't learn that, you're not going to understand it. However, the Jedis don't even care about that shit. They just want to know if it works. And because of my training was for free, and we'll get into that next, that's why they're seeing results. Jedi training was something that we started, when I say we, because Daddy and I, he's the one that guided me to do it. Again, I don't take credit for anything. Everything that I do is with Daddy, for Daddy, of Daddy. The Jedi training was something that he wanted me to do so that he can have others produce and heal people faster, because I was going to be busy doing some of the stuff I'm doing now. I didn't know to the extent that I was going to be doing the shit that I'm doing now, but because what I'm doing now, way out there. However, I'm not being interfered with because they know I'm for real. The Jedi training is something that we did, and we did it for free. We started a Zoom session where I had everybody who was following me at the time come on in. Everybody came from, actually started on the Real Truth Call. We started the sessions on the Real Truth Call. I started explaining to people how to alter reality, how to change things, and how to do it with Dad and with love, because love is the most powerful force there is. So as long as you're doing and operating in love, honesty, integrity, kindness, all the good stuff, you can produce my method. If you don't have none of those things, don't even start. It's not going to work. That's probably why certain people turned on me throughout the years, because they didn't have what it took, what it takes. And a lot of them are no longer with us. I wonder why. That being said, what I do is I use pendulums to allow people to realize this is all real. I teach them how to use pendulums, and the people that already know how to use pendulums was a lot easier to teach, because I would just ask them a certain question and they would get the answers right away. I didn't have to teach them, because I didn't have to teach this part where how to use a pendulum. So those guys and girls were a lot easier, where I would just say, okay, ask this, and they would get the response. And then I says, okay, ask this, which would be something like your current age, but not your current age, like a fake age, and then see what you get, right? Obviously the skilled person already knew, so they did it anyway, and they got the results. Then I says, okay, I'm going to teach you how telepathic this all is, and I'm going to tell you to ask the question, but not verbally. I'm going to tell you to ask the question in your mind. When you do that and you see the results of the pendulum or even your muscle testing, it's like, oh shit. That changes everything for you, because now you understand that it's telepathic. And honestly speaking, everybody is telepathic. The problem is you don't know you are because you haven't been told you are. And that's by design also. So I make them do that. I have them do that so that they realize that the pendulum can communicate with you the same way I do, the same way Dad does, which is telepathic. Telepathic communications, the pendulum is connected to Dad, especially when I come into the picture. Our energy and our we cover it all so that you only get the truth. So I taught people how to do all that, and then I taught them how to use the pendulum to target situations that their family members are going through. For instance, let's say your family member had a heart problem, right? You would take the pendulum and ask the pendulum if you can heal it, if you can heal their heart problem. And 9 times out of 10, it would say yes. So then you take that same pendulum, and you want to be respectful, because you have to be. You're dealing with Dad. Dad is the one answering up for you. Thank you, Dad, or thank you, or whatever. Show me the problem where I can identify the heart problem, and it will show me it. It will show you. It would say, yes, you have it pinpointed. In my mind, I see the pendulum identifying it, so it's lit up. Once it does that, then you would say something like, is it okay to heal the problem? So we tagged it. We just identified it. We tagged, and then we ask if it's okay for us to heal the problem. And then once you get a yes, all you would see is your mind's eye seeing energy go to the problem and repairing it. That's literally all it takes. When you start using that Jedi method and that process, it becomes natural, like riding a bike. Next thing you know, everything that I just walked you through becomes so vivid where you're now seeing everything. So the Jedi method is very important. Some people get it literally overnight, and some people take time because they're too busy questioning everything. It's not that hard. It's very simple. Ask the pendulum if you can identify the problem. Ask the pendulum if you can heal the problem. Ask the pendulum After you're done, if you solve the problem, the pendulum will tell you yes or no. The muscle testing will tell you yes or no. After you do all that, the rest is you just having faith that you were able to do it. The cool part about it is that you'll get results because I'm there with you through the process. So you're going to get results anyway because I'm there, right? I didn't really tell people that part yet just now, so I kind of told on myself. That being said, it also boosts up your confidence and removes the doubt, especially when the pendulum is answering you telepathically, right? You remove not all the doubt because people still have doubts, but you remove some doubt where now you feel comfortable in proceeding. Shortly after that, you get a phone call or you get the results and it's like, holy shit, this is for real. So I've successfully reproduced or taught you how to reproduce what I can do. And once you get to that point, it's not something that you can just shut off automatically because it's kind of like a high. It's like an ultimate high that you don't have to pay for, and it just feels fucking great. Oops. It feels good. It's a high that you don't have to pay for, and it feels good. There's about 20 something, I think like 23, 25 videos of Jedi training. It's on a YouTube channel that I don't have access to no more, and it's still up. It's called Source Directives. The videos are all there, and it's a lot to take in, it's a lot to listen to. However, by the time you're done with those videos, you should be performing. And what I mean by that is by the time you're done watching all those videos, you should be healing people successfully. Okay? Because there's plenty of different videos there, plenty of evidence of me seeing people's dreams, of me seeing people's everything. I pretty much expose myself to the world in those videos where I can literally tap into everything and see things, and I've answered things that nobody else knew except for that individual and of course Dad. The cool thing about all that is that because it's Dad and I, and me and Dad, he allows me to tap into everything, which is another reason why I can say I have the highest clearance there is because Dad. When you go to those videos, take your time, watch it, be at a quiet place and just absorb it all, because even those videos are going to help you get activated. There's about 3 million of the Jedis here on planet Earth, or should I say in this district, because we are in districts here on this planet. There's about 3 million of us that are constantly being activated as these days pass. And by the time you know it, we will be in that utopia because everybody's waking up and they're enforcing it. And we're enforcing it just by love. You don't have to go out and do harmful shit to get people to see the bigger picture. All you have to do is love them and educate them. And when they do, you'll have a force to be reckoned with which we are. There's about 3 million of us that are here to do just that. However, there's billions of us here that will vibrate differently and will all know how to do it and what to do when things need to be addressed. But they won't all be participating the way that the rest of us will be, because it's our mission to continue this evolution, if you would. And there's no way around that. So take the training serious. Take everything I say with with a grain of salt, if you would. I really don't. It doesn't matter to me whether you guys taking the information, believe anything of that I say or any of that. I'm past all that. My job is to get things done, and you will see the great things done because I'm not stopping. We are in the cocoon stages, and there's a crack in the cocoon because we're getting ready to blossom like never before. 10 years ago, they wouldn't even, they wouldn't even, they wouldn't even entertain nothing like this at all. In fact, when I was working on frequencies, Dad told me I had to educate people on frequencies because, people wouldn't understand it and they would just shut it down, right? So I'm thankful that we're in a vibrational state on the planet where stuff like this is more acceptable, if you would. And we don't have to struggle to get these type of stories out, these type of realities, these type of truths out. The people that find this information are supposed to find it, and the people that reject this information are supposed to reject it. I've already came to terms with all that because of my understanding the way Dad works. Not everything is for everyone, and I'm totally okay with that. The point of all of this is to have it there for when you are ready, because the rest of us that are paying attention to all of what I'm sharing with you guys are ready. And we are the ones that you all will be running to when it's said and done, because you will want the information that the rest of us have. The main thing is for everybody to realize that we have an awesome creator, an awesome father, and he put all of us here to get this job done for the rest of humanity that's suffering by the hands of the dark cabal. I get a little choked up when I talk about what's happening. The good part is that it is being cleaned up, and we just have to know that it's being cleaned up, and our Father hasn't left us and he won't leave us. So that's where we're at. I get a little emotional because this is like this is it. This is what we've been waiting for, and we're here. So everybody just love each other and help each other, and let's walk into the beautiful reality together, because we all deserve it. All of us.